After the age of 60, even the smallest habits can have a huge impact on your health. Some may look harmless, but they can quietly increase your risk of a stroke while you sleep. No warning, no pain, you go to bed feeling fine and wake up with slurred speech, weakness in an arm, or your balance suddenly gone. And here's the surprising part. It's not always about smoking, a poor diet, or lack of exercise. Sometimes the hidden danger is in something people take every single day, believing it will keep them healthy: vitamins. Every day, millions of older adults take supplements hoping to strengthen their bones, boost their energy, or protect their memory. And yes, many of them do help, but some, especially when taken in high doses or at the wrong time of day, can quietly put your brain at risk. That's why today, I want to walk you through 5 popular vitamins that, if misused, may raise the chances of stroke, brain bleeds, blood pressure spikes, or even nerve damage. And we begin with one of the most surprising: vitamin D. Vitamin D. When too much of a good thing becomes dangerous, vitamin D is widely known as the sunshine vitamin. It's praised for strengthening bones, lifting mood, and even supporting the immune system. Those benefits are real, but only in moderation. What most people don't realize is that too much vitamin D, especially if taken at night, can increase the risk of stroke. Here's why. High doses of vitamin D raise calcium levels in the blood. And when the body doesn't know what to do with all that extra calcium, it sends it into the arteries, making them stiff and narrow. That's a perfect setup for a clot to travel straight to the brain. Now, combine that with the natural loss of artery flexibility that comes with age, dehydration, poor sleep, and a calcium spike overnight, and you've created the perfect storm for a silent stroke. The scariest part? There are no warning signs. You go to bed fine and wake up changed forever. The common mistake. On pharmacy shelves, it's easy to find capsules with 5,000 or even 10,000 IU of vitamin D. Many people take them daily, convinced that more is better. But research shows that even 2,000 IU a day can be too much for someone who doesn't have a proven deficiency. So here's the key. If you take vitamin D, especially alongside calcium or heart medications, you need to get your blood levels checked regularly, and always take it in the morning, never at bedtime. If vitamin D surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. It's often called the heart helper. Many older adults have been taking it for years, believing it supports circulation, improves memory, or even keeps the skin healthy. But here's what rarely makes it onto the label. In certain situations, vitamin E can actually increase the risk of bleeding inside the brain. Vitamin E, when consumed in high doses, acts like a natural blood thinner. That means it slows down clotting. Now, imagine someone who is already taking aspirin, warfarin, or another prescription anticoagulant. If that person adds high-dose vitamin E on top without medical guidance, the risk of an internal bleed quietly rises, and the brain is the most vulnerable place for this. All it takes is one fragile vessel giving way for a hemorrhage to change everything in an instant. The recommended daily intake of vitamin E for older adults is actually very small, about 15 milligrams or 22 IU. But most supplements sold at pharmacies or online come in 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. And people take them faithfully, day after day, often for years. The danger builds slowly, silently, until one day it's too late. The saddest part? Many people only realize the risk after something has already happened. And almost every time I hear the same words: I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm. That's the lesson here. Not every vitamin is safe for everyone, or at every dose, especially if you already take medication for your heart or your blood pressure. In these cases, the safest step isn't guessing. It's talking to your doctor before adding anything new. Now, let's talk about a vitamin that many people take thinking it will boost their energy, improve focus, and give a little extra support to their nerves. That's vitamin B6, often advertised as a brain booster or nerve support. It's in countless supplements aimed at improving memory and circulation. But what most people don't realize is that too much vitamin B6 can actually damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Vitamin B6 plays an important role in forming neurotransmitters and supporting the nervous system. But when it's taken in high doses, it can accumulate in the body, and over time, it starts to do the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Instead of protecting your nerves, it starts damaging them. In older adults, the body can't clear the excess B6 as efficiently, and as a result, it starts to break down the protective coating around the nerves, leading to symptoms like tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, tremors, and in severe cases, even memory issues or confusion. I remember a patient named Mr. Harold Jenkins, a retired truck driver who was 76 years old. He came to see me because he'd been experiencing numbness in his feet, tingling in his hands, and difficulty keeping his balance. At first, he thought it was just part of getting older, but when I took a closer look at his supplements, I spotted the problem immediately. He had been taking a nerve support formula for over a year, wire that contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per capsule, and he was taking 2 capsules per day, which means 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times the safe limit for older adults. The scariest part is that vitamin B6 builds up in your system over time. It doesn't just flush out like some vitamins do. Instead, it slowly damages the protective coating of your nerves, like peeling the insulation off an electrical wire. If left unchecked, this can lead to irreversible nerve damage. And since the symptoms develop so gradually, many people mistake them for other conditions, like arthritis, early dementia, or even just getting old. But the real culprit could be B6 toxicity. The recommended amount of vitamin B6 for older adults is 2 to 10 milligrams per day. If you're taking any supplement claiming to support your brain or nerves, check the label to see how much B6 is in it. Remember, vitamin B6 is important, but only in small, controlled amounts. Next on the list is vitamin A, often praised for protecting eyesight, boosting immunity, and keeping skin healthy. Most people assume it's harmless. After all, who hasn't heard that vitamin A is good for your vision? But here's the hidden truth. Too much vitamin A doesn't just stay quietly in your system, it builds up. And over time, it can cause pressure inside the skull, creating symptoms that mimic a stroke. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means the body doesn't flush out the extra. Instead, it stores it in the liver, in body tissues, and even in the brain. As we age, the liver becomes less efficient, and this buildup happens even faster. The result can be a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, literally a false brain tumor. The symptoms include persistent headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and in severe cases, vision loss or even cognitive decline. I once treated Ms. Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher. She began having headaches, then blurred vision, then dizziness, and slurred speech. Her family feared the worst, a stroke, but scans revealed something different. There was no clot, no bleeding. Instead, she had dangerously high intracranial pressure. And the cause? Vitamin A toxicity. Dorothy had been taking a high-dose supplement for skin and eye health, 10,000 IU per day, every day, for more than 5 years. What most people don't realize is that many multivitamins already contain the full recommended daily amount of vitamin A. But when people add extra supplements for skin, vision, or anti-aging, they can unknowingly double or triple their intake. For older adults, the safe upper limit is around 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and even then, only when prescribed by a doctor. Yet many products on store shelves contain 5,000 or 10,000 IU per capsule. Taken daily, month after month, it's easy to see how toxicity develops. Dorothy slowly recovered, but she now requires regular eye exams, pressure checks, and balance therapy. She told me something I'll never forget. I thought I was doing something good for my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain. That's the key takeaway. More is not always better. Sometimes more means dangerous. The last vitamin on our list is one that many people associate with heart health: niacin, also known as vitamin B3. It's often praised as a natural way to lower cholesterol, and in some cases, even prescribed by doctors. You'll also find it in heart health supplements, in certain energy drinks, and even in fortified cereals. But here's what rarely gets mentioned. In high doses, niacin can disrupt your blood pressure, trigger heart palpitations, and even increase the risk of a stroke. Welcome, Simon. Here's why. Niacin causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand, which is why people often experience flushing, a warmth or redness in the face. But shortly after, those same vessels snap back and constrict again. That back and forth creates sudden swings in blood pressure, puts stress on the heart, and reduces blood flow to the brain. Over time, that yo-yo effect is like tapping fragile glass with a hammer. Eventually, something gives. I remember a patient named Mr. Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired mail carrier. He began experiencing hot flashes in his face, pounding sensations in his chest, and bouts of dizziness almost every morning. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure medication, but the real cause was hidden in his supplement routine. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter heart support supplement with 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, more than 60 times what most older adults actually need. The result? Frank suffered a mini stroke, also called a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. His speech slurred for a couple of minutes before returning to normal. To him, it felt like a fluke, but the truth was clear. His daily heart supplement was quietly endangering his brain. And here's the tricky part. It's not just the regular niacin that carries risks. Even the so-called flush-free or extended-release forms can still cause dangerous swings in blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, blood sugar issues. For older adults, anything above 50 milligrams a day should only be used under strict medical supervision. Frank was fortunate. He stopped stopped the supplement and recovered without lasting damage. But his words to me still echo. Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't realize I was gambling with my brain. And that's the final warning. Sometimes, the very supplements meant to protect your heart can quietly put your brain at risk. So what's the big lesson here? Vitamins are essential, yes. But once you're past 60, taking them the wrong way, in high doses, at the wrong time, or without medical guidance, can quietly turn them into risks instead of remedies. The truth is, your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't work the same way it did at 30. Your metabolism slows down, your circulation changes, and your liver and kidneys don't clear out excess vitamins as efficiently. That means what used to be safe in small amounts decades ago can now become dangerous. Ningli, the good news is this: there's a safer, more natural alternative. Your body was never designed to thrive on pills. It was designed to thrive on real food, whole, nutrient-rich foods that the brain recognizes and uses in just the right amounts. A plate with leafy greens, colorful vegetables, omega-3 rich fish like salmon or sardines, whole grains, berries, nuts, and seeds does more for your brain than any megadose capsule ever could. Every balanced meal is not just food, it's healing. And here's the most important part. Awareness is your best medicine. Before adding any supplement, read the label, talk to your doctor, listen to your body, especially when it whispers through small, subtle symptoms. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you do need to respect them. Chakra. So let me leave you with a question. What's one change you can start making tomorrow to protect your brain and your health? Because no matter your age, it's never too late to take back control.